been in ADAPI chapter for the last 25 years.
Show them those three Greeks.
Today, I would just like to talk a little about the mentoring program and tell you some of the things that it's doing for our young men.
I wanted him to be able to put his eyes on people that's really doing good and big things. So
I'm a single parent household, and I felt it important that he gets to interact with men.
How important do you think it is at your age to use a washcloth?
I can't teach him how to be a man. So when I heard about this program, I thought, let's give it a shot and see what happens.
If you're going to get better, then you have to kind of push yourself that much more in order to test your limits and to be progressive about that. And that 30 seconds is going on. I have this thing when I train other people, don't be a 58er. If we're supposed to go for a minute, then you go for 60 seconds. 58, that means you're short of yourself.
Every young person needs a mentor. You need somebody else speaking positive things into your young man's life.
that's why I wanted him to be a part of it, and my nephew as well.
Friendship is essential to the soul. And it is, bruh. I'm an old man and I understand exactly what it means. You hear me?
Yes,
Do you hear me?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Matt Stevens, and today we have our podcast, Cues on the Move. This is our 6th season that we are in effect, and we have some phenomenal guests that we'll be talking about this evening. Our focus for January is Mentoring Month. We have 3 phenomenal guests. One is on her way, just coming back from a phenomenal day. Oh, there she is right there. So I'll be introducing them as individually as we kind of move forward. But I'd like to first start with our first guest, gentleman that has helped make the Omega Psi Phi program a true mentoring program, Mr. J.C. Polanco. Mr. Polanco is the Mr. Polanco is the CEO of the Clio Clicks program. And Mr. Polanco, thank you and welcome to Cues on the Move.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with all of you and to share some ideas and to participate in this incredible podcast.
Thank you so much. We know what Clicks is. We know what Clio Clicks is, but not our audience really doesn't know. Could you tell us a little bit, what is Clio Clicks and what role do you play in that organization?
Well, I'm very excited that since July, I've been the president and CEO of this incredible organization, the Council on Legal Education Opportunity. It's a 55-year-old organization that focuses a great deal on diversifying the legal profession and law schools across the country. We work tirelessly to diversify the ranks so that we can have a diversified legal community. So we work very closely with many organizations across the country. We're fortunate to have Monica Heilig, who's in charge of our Clicks program. She's our national director. And what Clicks does is a national program that is funded by the Department of Justice through the Clio program to work with incredible organizations like the fantastic Brothers of Omega Psi Phi Incorporated, who do amazing work in changing lives. So we work very closely with you so that you can provide those services to the students that you steward in the right direction. We take a lot of pride in working with partners like you because you in fact are an example of how we should be working together across the country to mentor young folks to not only become responsible citizens, to become change agents, but hopefully have some of those become attorneys as well. So they can join the ranks of folks that are dedicated to protecting democracy, protecting civil rights, protecting the innocent, and protecting our communities from crime. So it's so important that we have folks that look like ourselves, that have our shared experiences, not only on the bench, in district attorneys' offices and public defenders' offices across the country. And in order to do that, the Brothers of Omega Psi Phi Incorporated have been just fantastic in helping us do that, and helping young folks who don't have people that look like them, who have experienced the things that they have, see folks who have done it and seek mentorship in that group. So we're very fortunate to have this relationship with you. And moving forward, we're going to work very closely with the Department of Justice and other organizations so that we have the funding that's necessary to truly make an impact. So we're very thankful of your invitation to participate tonight. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. We'll be thanking you later in the show for some of the great work that you've done. I'll take a minute now just to introduce some of the other groups that we have with us today. She's rushing in from a long day's work, and she's probably got 2 or 3 meetings to go after this. I'd like to introduce everybody to Mrs. Jennifer Payne Parrish, who is representing the NAACP tonight. Hello, Mrs. Parrish. How are you? And thank you for coming out.
I'm great. And hi, Matt. Great to see you and great to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, we know that you're working with the NAACP of the Oranges and Maplewood. Tell us a little bit about what you do with the NAACP.
Yeah, so I've been a member of the NAACP for about the past 10 plus years, and had several roles within the organization. Recently, I ran for the president of the NAACP of Oranges and Maplewood. And there's just a lot of, I think, great work that comes out of the NAACP. We are really a policy-driven organization, and our goal is to ensure that Black people and other marginalized people enjoy the same rights as everyone else. And so I've enjoyed being a member and an officer in this branch, and I hope to continue.
Sounds like a winner. Sounds like a winner. Well, last but absolutely not least is one of my mentors, the brother who has he was the one who started the mentor program, and I took it over after him. It's really big shoes to fill, and he's doing phenomenal work all over the country. But specifically for tonight, he runs the community engagement office for the Orange Public Schools. So, Mr. Deveone, Brother Deveone, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do with the city of the Orange Public Schools.
Thank you, Mac, for that great introduction. And I'll humbly say you have been a mentor to me in this area of mentoring and providing opportunity for young men and women. So I'm currently, as you previously stated, the Community Engagement Officer with Orange Public Schools. And my charge is really to identify resources and bring opportunities for students and families in the city of Orange. I don't take that lightly. For the past 15 years, I've been engaged and really trying to find great opportunities and really serving as a resource for families in the Essex County area. And just really am happy that I have an opportunity to work with you and the Brothers in Aid Applied chapter in East Orange to service the Essex County community.
Sounds like a winner. Well, JC, the Clicks program has blessed the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, and I want to try to say if everybody can give this brother a round of applause. In the last 2 years, the Clio Clicks organization has funded Omega Psi Phi over $200,000, and so can we just give that brother a round of applause for the great work that you've done? Your staff there, particularly Monica, David Miller, have helped us move from selling fish sandwiches now to really being funded by a major group to make some things happen. You fund programs all over the country to do this mentoring. Why do you think mentoring matters and it should matter to organizations as that you fund?
Well, Matt, first, we're blessed to be working with you and Omega Psi Phi Incorporated to motivate young people. So thank you. And Monica and the team at Clio and Clicks are just amazing. They really work tirelessly for our students and for young people. So I want to thank them, and I thank them daily. It's really an incredible group of change agents. And as I mentioned earlier, they're working nonstop to turn every stone so that no stone is left unturned so that we can get the funding that's necessary to truly make a difference. Mentorship matters so much. A lot of the folks that we serve and that, frankly, I serve individually, I've been an educator now for 23 years. I started in the New York City public school system, and today I still teach at the Borough of Manhattan Community College for the CUNY system. Been there now for going on, 16 years? My goodness, I'm aging myself. But, I found that mentorship matters, and mentorship opportunities are all around us. And it's so valuable because so many of the folks that we work with, so many of our students that we work with come from places that lack mentorship. They lack having folks around them that they can look towards, either for advice, right? Or how to replicate a design, or simply be a model to follow. And often we find ourselves in the positions that we're in seeking those young folk that want mentorship, that really need that push, because so many of our folks haven't done their job. And to be honest, and I know a lot of folks that are watching on Facebook know how I feel about this. I think that often, not only have we dealt with systemic issues, but as a community, we have let down a lot of our young folk. So those of us who have had the opportunity to succeed owe our young folk the opportunity now. We owe our young folk an opportunity to be mentored, to show them the ropes that so many other kids from across the country get regularly. I tell young folk all the time that many in the communities that we serve are really at a disadvantage. While some young folk in other parts of New York and Newark and Los Angeles and Miami and Atlanta, while some young folks are dodging butterflies on their way to school, a lot of the folks that we work with daily, and you could attest to this, are dodging gangs, are dodging drugs, are dodging violence, are literally dodging bullets on their way to school, on their way to their internship, on their way to their first job. So having folks like us to encourage them, to provide them positivity, to focus and nurture their future matters. So that's why you matter. That's what Omega Sci-Fi Incorporated have done. What your chapter is working on matters, and is why we take it so seriously. Monica and her team at Clio, they understand this. And in order for us to change the world, we have to do so together, and we have to focus with razor-like, surgeon-like precision to get it done. So we're very fortunate to have you as a partner.
Great. That leads perfect into what we're looking for and working with what we feel is one of the premier organizations in this country, the NAACP. And Jen, would you tell us a little bit about what you think the young people that are in your organization, what role do you see them playing as the new leaders coming up? And what are some opportunities that you think that we can work together on?
Yeah, I think when it comes to roles, all roles, right? I mean, I think it's our job as I'm going to say the elders or the older members of the organization, those who have been there for some time, understand the organization. It's really our job to mentor and then to move over, to move aside, and let the young people lead and understand their vision, their passion, and embrace it, and then also nurture it. I think that's really our role as as some of the older folks in the room, to really make space for younger membership, and not just membership, but involvement and leadership. And so there are many roles. I mean, there's one part of the NAACP called AXO, which is really made up of young people who have different interests in different disciplines, and they showcase those talents, if you will, and compete across the nation. But then there are also other committees, etc., where we really need young people to be involved and engaged, to partner. So there are all opportunities. There's nothing that's not available to young people within the NAACP.
Great. Well, we are strong believers in the fact that we don't want to recreate the wheel. And so we were pleased to find out that you were working with the NAACP, and we know your love for young people. And so we're really leaning on working with you to help us in leadership development. So all of the young people in high school that are in our mentoring program will be members of your youth council. And part of the money that we get from the Clio Clicks organization will go towards paying for the youth membership for the year. Clio Clicks, one of their main focuses is social justice, and we could not think of a greater organization in this country to work hand in hand with than the NAACP. And now that we just have a couple of coins in the bank, we're able to pay that membership so that our young people can come to your program and get all of the benefits, the conferences, the training, the interaction, the networking, all of those things that come along with the NAACP. So we're extremely happy to be partnering with you in that regard. And in our first activity of partnership, we have coming up this Saturday with our youth conference. And again, one of the things that the fraternity tries not to do is recreate the wheel. And we got that information from Clio Clicks. They wanted us to combine and collaborate versus trying to do everything on our own. So we were able to connect with Barry Deveone, and he got us directly involved with the superintendent of schools, who is hosting the youth conference, Clio Clicks Orange Public School Youth Conference, this Saturday. You are and a guest are going to be coming out, saying a few words, and we're going to be registering young people for the NAACP starting on Saturday. But Barry, I'd like for you to talk to us a little bit about your excitement about this youth conference. What do you see this accomplishing?
I think first off, this will be the first opportunity for us to get the conference is going to be focusing on young men in grades 7 and 12. It'll be Saturday, January 21st. It's going to run from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Orange High School, which is located at 400 Lincoln Avenue in Orange. So it's right in the center of town. What the Young Men's Conference provides us is an opportunity to get the young men in a room to really just have a conversation. This is not one of those conferences where we're going to do a lot of talking to the young men. We're going to pose a question. They're going to be engaged in group discussions. There will be representatives from Omega Psi Phi. There'll be representatives from the school district, representatives from Kappa Alpha Psi, which is also one of our community partners. Individuals who are like leaders in their respective professions, really providing guidance to some of those conversations, but allowing the students to have discussions around how do you interact with police. All right. We know over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of social activism as a result of some of the actions that have been taken between the police and the community. So we want to make sure that our young men are informed. We'll also have some representatives from the police department in the room so they can ask some of those questions that they might not normally have the opportunity to do. Also, how to interact with their friends socially. For example, what happens when you have a friend who doesn't necessarily have your best interests at heart? How do you interact with him or her, right? We'll have that discussion. So we'll also have the opportunity for them to learn how to engage in something that they may like. For example, gaming. I'm not necessarily going to have them learn about gaming, but learning about the business of gaming. And that'll be facilitated by a youth who has a gaming magazine, right? We'll also have some representatives from the entertainment industry. And we have a local DJ that's very well renowned in the local community. So students have an opportunity to interact with him, but not only to have fun, but learn what are some of the things that he does to facilitate his business and why he is successful at what he does. So I think this is going to be a great opportunity for the young men to engage with one another, engage with some men who may have been where they've been previously, and for them to get some great information. So it's just going to be an all-around great opportunity.
Great. Well, JC, I know that a lot of the work that your organization is doing throughout the country is funding through the JJC, the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Program. What do you see this year, 2023, as some things that you want to accomplish through Clio Clicks?
Well, one of the things that I got to tell you we're working on, and Monica is spearheading this, is making sure that we have the funding necessary to continue working together and to expand the incredible work that you do. Because of that, we're monitoring at all times any opportunities we have for grants from both the Department of Justice and, quite frankly, outside of the Department of Justice, because your mission doesn't stop. Our mission doesn't stop, so we have to get it. And we're working nonstop to make that happen. So while Monica's working to make sure that we do everything we have to do in order to get the funding to keep going, we're also constantly looking for new opportunities to expand across the country and really motivate young people to do the right thing. It's so exciting to hear about Saturday's program and all of the things that you're working on. Quite frankly, our students need this, our children need this, and our adolescents are desperate to see this positivity around them. So we want to be part of that, and we'll continue working towards that end. And it is our goal, and I have to be selfish a little bit here, that some of the folks that come across your program and some of the folks that are interested in social justice and protecting their neighborhoods as future district attorneys, or protecting civil rights as future legal aids and criminal defense attorneys, and holding the Constitution to the test, will be motivated to go to law school. And that's where the symbiotic relationship between Clix and Clio comes in, because a lot of the young people that head into college are going to be motivated to become attorneys. I know a lot of the young folks, especially like me, went into college, never knew an attorney, never met one, not throughout college, not growing up, never. I didn't meet my first attorney really until much later on. I think it was in law school. A lot of the folks that you're mentoring have never met attorneys either. And your programs provide a great opportunity for them to meet people that look like them, that have gone through what they've gone through and are now in the practice of law. So, selfishly, our goal is to motivate a few of those participants to go into our programs. Unfortunately, for Clio and Clix and in our relationship, we work with our students early on, from freshman year all the way through senior year, working with them on, road to law school programs and freshman programs and sophomore programs all throughout, to get them ready for law school. And once they're in law school, forget about it. We stay close to our students all through the bar exam. So it's really a pipeline that we've created at Clio that is world renowned. We have over 30,000 graduates of our programs that are currently in judges' chambers, in the halls of Congress, in district attorneys' offices and public defenders' offices across the country. It's so excited to be part of this organization because of the 55 years of results. So hopefully some of your students will seek the pre-law route, and we'll be able to serve them further.
Absolutely. And that is one of the main reasons that we wanted to connect with the NAACP, because they have phenomenal leadership in that area. And they all live in the community that they service. They are homegrown. We all grew up in the same area. We all, most of us went to high school together, and now we're creeping in. We're the old guys now. We're the elders, which is kind of funny. But at the same time, we're ready to lead. So Jen, I know that you guys are doing some phenomenal leadership development work. Any thoughts on how you can help us to move that ball down the road? Any young people that we might be able to connect directly with Clix in the future?
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because I just received a notice today from the national organization of the NAACP that there are leadership programs happening in the next couple of months. I'll have to look into it to see who is eligible, and if youth members are eligible as well. There is some travel, etc., to the different to the different leadership conferences. And we can probably talk more about that later. But yeah, there are many opportunities, even outside of just the programs that the NAACP offers as far as leadership is concerned. There's everyday leadership. There's leading committee meetings and what that entails. There's leading social action activities and what that entails. So there's a lot of opportunity for young people to learn about leadership in the NAACP.
Got it. And so Barry, that's a great segue for you as we move into looking at how do we make these things, these everyday things, plug in. And so, Barry, do you see any connection between what we're doing and community engagement that you do with the Orange Book schools?
Well, absolutely. I mean, this is what we do every day in Orange, right? We're really trying to connect with organizations who have a vested interest in serving the community, right? A prime example is this is National Mentoring Month, and Jennifer is going to be one of our primary speakers at the youth conference, right? Making that connection between what's being done at the NAACP, bringing that knowledge to students who might not necessarily be aware of what the NAACP really is. Maybe something that they learned about in social studies class, right? But to actually see someone actually talk about it and talk about opportunities where they can actually engage, not something that they read about in history books, and they can become a part of the social change fabric of their community. That's what we're trying to accomplish with this youth conference. As you mentioned at the top of the meeting, and under the leadership of Mr. Polanco and Cleo Clicks, community partnerships is, I think, critical to the success, I think, of all social service initiatives or social action initiatives, right? I don't think you can work in silos. You know, one of the issues we did have in Orange, this, as if I may, is only 2.2 square miles, right? However, it's about $35,000 in there per census. Really undocumented, we're probably closer to 60,000 people in there. Demographics, African American, huge over the last 15 years, population from Central America. And then we have a large Haitian Creole speaking or Haitian community. And over the last 5 years, influx of Western African nations moving into the city. So we are a really diverse city, but along with that comes with some of the issues that many urban areas face. And I think in order to address those, we need to work together. The school district outside of the city is probably the largest organization that touches everyone in the community. So it's imperative that we're working with organizations because our reach is so wide, right? Even if you don't necessarily have a student.
Great. JC, I'm not sure if you're aware, but one of the great things, I'm sorry.
Last I can say, one of the things is even if a parent doesn't have, or community member doesn't have a student in a district, we do so many family-oriented, community-oriented programs that they still are touched by us through our activities. So it's imperative that we work with organizations that serve those diverse populations. Matt, I think we got you. Okay.
Can you guys hear me? Because Barry had kind of cut in and out.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. All right, so JC, as we kind of bring it down close, we have 2 minutes left. I just really wanted to share with you, you might not be aware, but one of the things that Barry was successful in doing is he got our mentor program to operate during the school day. So we see 100 boys a week in the school district through either a last period of the day or as a part of the structured after school program. And we hope as we kind of move forward, that's the route that we are looking to continue to work with. We're coming to a close. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. JC, I'd just like to give you 30 seconds to close out, say goodbye to everybody.
Thank you again. This has been great, incredible, Dr. Payne Parrish. It was a pleasure meeting you. Very great meeting you. We're very excited about the future. We want the Department of Justice to see the value in our relationship, to continue supporting us so that we can truly change the world one student at a time through real serious mentorship like the ones you're providing. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Got you. Jen, we're looking forward to seeing you and Bill on Saturday. It's a family thing on Saturday. Any last words?
I just want to say thank you again. And I truly believe that mentorship is the roadmap for a successful career and life. So I thank you for the work that you're doing. And I'm so honored to be partnering with you.
Got it. Last but not least.
All right. I'll just finally say mentoring matters. And I'm just happy to be partnering with Theo Clicks and the NAACP, two organizations that are dedicated to serving. And we're looking to continue our relationship and doing more things in the future.
Great. We'll leave it to you, Darius. I want to say thank you, everybody. Q's on the Move. We'll be back in February, where we'll be talking about our daddy-daughter dance and the work that we're doing with fathers in the community. So, Darius, thank you so much. Close out with our video. No volume.
Fraternity Incorporated Ada Pi Chapter Dr. Ernest Everett Just Mentoring Program. We provide youth ages 12 through 18 with career exploration and life skills mentoring. Our mentors use the Clio Clicks mentoring app to teach critical thinking through learning modules and webinars. We meet virtually twice a month and explore careers in law, social justice, and entrepreneurship. These activities support the fraternity's 4 cardinal principles: manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. Register today for the Dr. Ernest Everett Just Mentoring Program. Visit us at the Omega Family Resource and Learning Center at 132 South Harrison Street, East Orange, New Jersey, or at our website, www.adapichapter.org. The CLICS program is funded by a grant from the Department of Justice, Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Program.
Well, I got it.